Hey, welcome back to the show. Joining us in the studio, I've got Melissa with Walking Mountains Science Center. And if you haven't had a chance to go up and visit their campus located on the north side of I-70, Melissa, it's a great interactive experience. You can spend hours there with your kids or just go as adults and learn something new about everything from the environment to the watersheds to animals and so much more. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Nice to see you. Happy New Year.
Nice to see you. Thanks. Happy New Year. Yeah, there's a lot to do up at the Walking Mountains Science Center here at the Avon campus. We're open 9 to 5. I believe we might be open 7 days a week now. During the off season, we close on Sundays. But we have a nature tour, a nature walk at 2 o'clock every day up at the Science Center, and you can just go out and check out the snow crystals, check out the trees, check out the birds.
You'll send a naturalist or somebody will go with you guys to kind of say, look at that, and did you notice this?
Yeah, and it's free. I think that's a big thing that people don't realize is that you can come up there anytime you want. We've got a play area for kids as well as a lot of interpretation on, like you said, geology, birds, nature, whatever you want. Whatever you want, we'll help educate you on it.
And then you also have backcountry snowshoe hikes. There's honestly something for everybody. And then tonight is a special night because it's the kickoff to your annual Sustainable Film Series, and tonight is the first one for the year.
Yeah, for the year. So this is our third one in the series, but our first one for 2017. Yeah. So Plastic Ocean is what we're showing this evening.
So Plastic Ocean. So we've talked a little bit about it on the show today, but you once again watched it yesterday. Give us the behind the scenes, what it's all about.
It just goes back to kind of thinking about when plastics began. So they started to be created in, I think, like the 1940s around. A lot of people like to say it's when the housewives started to come out of the kitchen, let's say. They needed, these containers that they could put their food in because they weren't around as much because they were actually out in the workforce. And so it just talks about how we've kind of moved into this world of plastic and how everything we purchase seems to come in something like that, but what happens to it afterwards.
A lot of it ends up in our watersheds.
Yes.
And it's pollution and it's dangerous.
Yeah, so even though we're not right by the ocean, we do have water streams that go down through our watershed, the Eagle River, into the Colorado, and then out into the sea and into the ocean. And small pieces of that plastic go out, and they never fully degrade. We say biodegrade, but they never fully disappear. They may be tiny, small particles of plastic floating around, and that's what you'll see tonight. It's not just these big milk jugs that you see or little pieces of Legos. It's just a mesh of a variety of plastics that just float out, and it's an interesting movie to see.
It's interesting to think about it too, because all the plastic that's in the oceans doesn't get dumped off of boats, like you said. It could end up in Eagle County, that water bottle that fell out of your backpack, that over time ends up in the ocean, along with all the other pieces that get picked up by, when the snow melts and the rivers get big and they pull stuff off further up on the shorelines, and it all just kind of converges in those big melting pots.
Yeah, there's 5 gyres throughout the ocean where you could say the melting pots is where the currents kind of move the plastics in, but then you can go further away from those and still find. They show a lot in the South Pacific and some of those island countries where after tsunamis and certain effects that happen where these plastics are just washed up on their shores. And so this one isn't as lighthearted as some of the other films I've shown.
But it's good information.
It is really good. Yes.
So tonight, you actually show the film twice in the month, and tonight's the first one.
Yeah, tonight's the first one at Loaded Joe's here in Avon at 6:30, and then we'll show the next one, the same one, on the 17th of January at the Dusty Boot and Eagle.
And do you need to sign up? Can you just show up?
No, just show up. Come a little bit early if you want to get a seat and get something to eat and have a drink and just settle in for the film. And
if people want to find out more, I think going to the website. Your website's a great website. WalkingMountains.org is the website. Or give you guys a call at 970-827-9725. If you want to find out more about Walking Mountains, all the different things that they offer, what they provide for kids and adults and kids of all ages, for that matter. We have more coming up on the show. Once again, we're going to go find Ken. He's going to wrap the show up with that last look of the first chair.